Hello, and thank you for joining me tonight. This video is just going to be a talking video, so I'm not sure how many triggers it will have, but I did get a few questions about, just general questions about Reiki and what it is and kind of explain the process and things like that. So I thought I would take the time to make a video about it. It's just today, sorry, my phone is buzzing. I just today had my first Reiki class in Staten Island, and it was really fun. There were friends there. So I'm kind of buzzing from that experience and the attunements and things like that. And it's all very fresh in my mind. So the history of Reiki, I'll go into it that way. Reiki is a very ancient practice. It's a ancient wisdom that has been around since long before Jesus. It's something that we all have access to. You can call it Reiki, white light. I call it universal energy. That's how I think of it. The word Reiki is, it was named by Dr. Usui, who I will go into further. But he named it this, but it means, Rei and Ki mean life, essence, breath, and I believe light or power, things like that. So it's kind of like this, just, this force that's in all living things. It's what animates us. It's not exactly consciousness, but again, it is consciousness. It's non-denominational, that's for sure. So you can call it whatever you want to call it, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to call it Reiki, or universal life force, which is another term that he used for it. Okay, so Dr. Usui was born in the 1800s and was a principal at a Japanese school and also a Christian minister. One of his students at some point asked him, how did Jesus do healings? How did he heal people? And this struck something in him because, he wanted to find out as well. So he wouldn't come to find out for 10 years what it actually was, and discover Reiki. But it was kind of this quest that he went on, in a sense. He ended up traveling to the States and went to the University of Chicago, got his doctorate in theology, which is the study of religion and the nature of God and things like that. And that didn't really solve what he was looking for, but that's what he ended up doing in Chicago. He came back to Japan and started working with checking out Buddhist monasteries and being around monks and stuff like that, and at some point was able to gain access to these ancient scripts, ancient documents, which he had now learned the ability to read them. And he discovered Reiki in those texts. Now, the reason this knowledge was lost in the first place is because not everyone is able to read Sanskrit. And also, before, when in the ancient times, things were taught from teacher to student through words. It wasn't always written down, and the students needed to be selected. So if there was ever a time where there weren't the right students, or the teacher didn't feel like it was the right time, the teacher's death ended the passing on of whatever knowledge he contained. So a lot was lost through processes like that. A lot of culture in general has been lost in that type of situation where things are passed word of mouth, and when there's no one left to carry on the word, or it doesn't reach the right person to carry it on, then it ends there, which is really sad and beautiful and romantic in some strange way, So anyway, when he found out, when he read this and found out, what it was so simple, he said. This is a part of the story where it gets a little romanticized, maybe. It's not the most contemporary story, but I'm going to let you hear it or share it with you. Basically, he gained this knowledge and he went to the top of a mountain, I forget which one, or a clearing, or just like went up a mountain and fasted and meditated for 21 days. He put 21 stones in front of him and would chuck a rock off every time a day passed. So on the 21st day, he saw a lightning storm in the distance, and it scared him. And he wanted to run away, and then this is all just in a book that I read, so you could find this information as well. But he saw this storm coming at him, or this lightning coming at him, and he wanted to run away. And then he said, you know what, like, I put this much into this, like, I'm gonna stay, even if this kills me, like, I'm about to find out what the heck this is all about. So the story is that, he got struck with lightning in the head, and he saw the Reiki symbols flash before him, and everything just became very clear, and like that's how he attuned himself, or was attuned that way. Then he came down the mountain, and he started, someone was complaining about a toothache. He went and just put his hands, and the pain went away. And this happened again and again during like the course of him like coming down from this mountain. He ended up going to like a beggar's alley or a center, or just kind of like the place wherever the like beggars in the town were would hang out, and started to perform healings on them. Now, back then, if you had like an illness of some kind, or if you were just different in one way or another, or disabled, or sick, or diseased, or anything like that, you were supported by the community as a beggar. So that's how these people survived. And he started like doing like healings on them, and then they became, angry with him that, now they didn't have the same lifestyle anymore. Like they had to change, they had to work and things like that. And again, this is all just a story. Like there's no proof of it. I'm not saying this is what I 100% believe, so please don't take it as like word from me. This is just the story of Reiki. So he did these healings, and they got upset with him over it, and he got frustrated and upset himself, because like here he is trying to make people's lives better in his mind, and they weren't appreciative. So that's where they say that the cost of Reiki comes in, because Reiki is not cheap, like it's really it's reasonable, but it's not the cheapest thing. I mean, like here in Manhattan and Brooklyn, like it can be pretty expensive because like the rent's expensive, but so the theory is that, or what you can gain from like a story like that, or how I think it's supposed to be taught, is there needs to be a type of exchange. People don't really value what they get for free. People don't value what they don't have to work for. And you can look at that in lots of different ways. Sometimes people will ask me question after question after question, and like there's a point where I have to, and I'm not talking about like a student or something, but just like a random person asking me a lot of questions, and I'll have to stop and pull back and be like, okay, like you need to like get on Google, look up some books, find something you're interested in and start studying it, and find the answers for yourself, because it's going to be so much more meaningful and stick with you more. It's like you have this thought, like something you want to know or learn. You look up, what kind of book should I get? You do that. Then you read it in the page or whatever it is. It's a process. It's like a whole way to absorb information. Someone just spouting stuff at you isn't really absorbed that wonderfully unless you're specifically looking for the information, which is why I hope these videos can be helpful. Okay, so that's like where Reiki comes from. It works closely with the chakras. The chakras were discovered in India. Chakra in Sanskrit means wheel, and they're wheels of energy along our body and below our body and above as well. And they're all over our body, but there are 7 primary chakras, which you'll definitely see, the Roiji Biv kind of rainbow stuff you'll see like hanging on the wall, jewelry, things like that. The chakras are these energy wheels that, when they're blocked or in any discord, affect how our body processes things, and not just our physical body, but our spiritual body, our mental body, and our emotional bodies as well. So there's a lot of room for discord there if you think about it that way. Now, what Reiki does is it removes negativity, it removes blockages, and it balances energy. So when you go and get a Reiki session done, you're giving yourself a great opportunity to do some work on yourself that you need to do. Not only will your energy be balanced after your session, but often, especially I know personally how I am with my clients and stuff, when I'm performing a session, I get kind of messages or, like just things that I need to share with this person, whether it be me reading, that your throat chakra is blocked and I need to tell you to express yourself more, or like something very simple like that. Or, some kind of trauma link going on that I can see that you need to work on, and, I'll try to give you as best advice as I can and maybe point you in the right direction of aiming to heal yourself. But that energy balancing puts you in a much better place to be able to heal yourself. The idea is that Reiki energy, universal life energy, universal energy, God energy, white light, whatever you want to call it, electromagnetism, like whatever, chi, prana, like you could go on forever. There's no like lightning bolt that goes in. There's no like me touching you and you're healed. That's not how it works. What a Reiki practitioner does, they've been taking classes, they've been working on maintaining their own energy so that they're able to help people more. They've been trained in ways to act as a conduit and call upon this energy to receive it on behalf of their receiver or who they're going to give it to, and give it to them. So they're kind of this, just a conduit, a channel. That's basically what it is. So we all have access to this energy, and you all do it all the time, I'm sure. When you hurt yourself, the first thing you do is like grab your, bang your knee into something, you grab your knee, like your head hurts, you grab your head, your throat hurts, you touch your throat. That's all these like ancient, like deep knowledge things that we have of trying to heal ourselves. And we all do have that ability, like mommy's kiss boo-boos, and that makes things better too, things like that. So we have this ability. What the Reiki practitioner has done now, though, has learned about it and worked with it so they're comfortable working with energy. And the biggest part about becoming a Reiki practitioner or just working with energy, Reiki energy, is that you need to have an attunement done by a teacher. So you need to be taught this. You can read about it in a book. I did. I read about it like all the levels before I even got to go see my my teacher. I was just very excited and knew it was something for me. But until you have your attunement, you're not. It's training, sure. Like to read about something is definitely preparing, and I think it helps me a lot as far as being able to work with the energy so easily. But the attunement is just the most spiritual and life-changing thing that I've, short of giving birth, that I've ever experienced. It's a really beautiful little, very small ceremony. There's not like anything grandiose about it. Some nice music, space clearing, meditation, and then the master teacher will do an attunement. I'm not going to go into the attunement too much, but basically it's a process. It kind of looks like the way a Reiki session looks. And what happens is these symbols are kind of put into your this like light tunnel that you have within you. Picture maybe your spinal column, and you're just more open. Like, let's say we all have a channel within us, and maybe it's like a size of like spaghetti or something like that. What the attunement does is begins to open that channel more, and it just makes it so much easier for you to be able to channel that energy. And then working with the energy is what really starts to build and increase the ability that you have. I don't want to call it like a power, but it's your ability. You practice drawing a lot, you're going to get good at drawing. You want to skateboard, surf, like you need practice. And with energy work, like you do need practice. You can be a natural at sensing energy, or a natural at picking up on signs, or like intuition on maybe what would be beneficial to someone. But it takes time to, have clients and work on people and give them the best information that you can, and always come from a place of love and non-judgment, and maintain your own energy. That's like the life of an energy worker, That's something that is very passionate to me. I have a crazy life, you know, but I'm very composed and maintained. We all have crazy lives. Mine's not like, you know, outrageous or anything, but I just mean there's so much discord and so much ability for us to repeat these cycles and just have, you know, there's a lot of chances for us to get tripped up on stuff, and maintaining that energy is very important. Now, like, more than just energy workers surely need to do things like that. You know, yogic people or like yogi teachers, I'm sure, are very like, you know, want to keep their energy balanced for their classes and be able to support their students in certain ways. And same with many other things like Qigong teachers or dance instructors, or even, you know, teachers in a general sense, or whatever. It does us all good to keep our energy very balanced. Why do we need our energy balanced? Well, when our energy is not balanced, okay, let's translate like energy and vibration. Energy is vibration in a sense. Your energy is either a low vibration or a high vibration. You know, when our vibration is high, we're in a much different place than when our vibration is low. When our vibration is low, we're negative, we're angry, we're fearful, we're snappy, we're judgmental, we're our own worst enemy, we're self-sabotaging, we're jealous, you know. And when our vibration is high, we're grateful and joyful and content and at peace and relaxed and just in the moment and happy, and we're not reliant on external stimuli or external circumstances to make us happy. We're happy from within and we're in control, you know. There are a series of hand movements that more or less just correspond with the chakras for the most part. And what they do is they re-energize, they balance, they get rid of negativity, they remove debris stuck in your aura. It's auric cleansing, and it's a very, very soothing and relaxing process. It's very spiritual. It's a spiritual process. It's not like getting a massage where you're gonna feel like your kinks are worked out. These are kinks within our subconscious. They are kinks. They are, as in, memories we need to let go of and not judge, or habits that we have that are not good or that are detrimental even to our well-being. They are realizations for personal growth. It's a very internal process. That's not to say that Reiki does not heal on a physical sense, and I really do hate the word heal in this case, just because it has the stigma of like healing, like I'm gonna heal you. Like, I don't mean it like that. I mean healing as in activating within your body its already infinite knowledge of healing itself. Removing blockages that prevent you from healing yourself, whether that be on an emotional level or a physical level. I started saying this before and I got off track, but it's not something where like I heal you. It's something where I'm channeling energy, the energy goes to you, it revitalizes you, but most importantly, it awakens within your body your ability to heal yourself. So now we're on track. The ability to heal yourself. Your body knows more than you could ever understand within your mind. Your mind has ego, it has focus, it has been, impacted by everything that you've experienced in your whole entire life, from commercials to things you overheard to feelings you sensed when you looked at certain things. Like, you've been very impressioned upon. Your entire personality and thought process has been cause and effect, your entire life. Things you have forgotten, things that you can't let go of. Like, there's so much within our conscious mind, but our body knows without us having, like, it can answer yes or no, and it always knows the truth. So while we're checking, let me finish my thought here. Your body knows how to heal itself when it gets a cut. Your body was able to create itself from 2 cells and build your entire body. It makes your hair grow and it makes you breathe. It moves the fluids through your body. It keeps your heart beating. It's it grows nails. Like, you don't have to think about growing nails. Your body just knows this stuff. It knows what you need, and it knows what you need to be healthy, and it wants to be healthy. How do we make ourselves not healthy? Well, by our environment, by, things that we eat for sure, but also by our thoughts, by the things that we tell ourselves, by, holding on to, negative things and not letting them out, not letting them move on. It manifests in these physical, ailments and physical diseases and problems that we experience. In my sessions, I like to start with a combing of the aura, and I typically use a selenite wand because it's very good for cleansing your aura. I also like to use sound, typically the Tibetan singing bowl, and also smudge of some kind. For me it's usually Palo Santo because it doesn't seem to be too smoky, so it's not to irritate anyone's lungs. Do like an aura scanning and combing, and during the scanning you'll get a sense of where the energy feels a little stagnant, where there's resistance, where there might be a dip or a lull in the energetic field, and you can also conduct your practice that way. So after the session is over, people usually are very relaxed. There might have been a release of some kind. A release can be laughing, tears, yawning, stretching, tummy gurgles and bubbles, twitches, tingles, warmth, cool, thoughts, realizations, things like that. And that will also, maybe not the sensations, but the thoughts and realizations will likely come up over the course of the next 21 days after a session. It's usually advised, most books I've read on it have advised that you should book 3 Reiki sessions when you're like beginning sessions on, if you have some work to do. If you're just doing it because you like to do it every once in a while, that's like a different story. But the typical thing would be like 3 sessions fairly close together so that you get like the best benefit. A nice way to look at it, or a good analogy, is a glass of water. It's you with clear water, but there's sediment at the bottom. So maybe the water's not like crisp clear like you would want to drink it, but it's not too terrible here. It might be a little icky, but nothing terrible. And then the sediment is all at the bottom. So what you do, in a sense, you pour this fresh water, this fresh energy into you. So, it might not work completely all at once. You might need three cups to fully flush out that sediment. It's a nice analogy for pretty much like all energy work and other things as well, I guess. But during that process, it can be a bit uncomfortable because this stuff that you've been like keeping down is like, like coming up, and it's coming to the surface. So the best advice is to just let it go. Like, just see it. Oh, I see you. Oh, that was a good lesson. Thank you for the lesson. And let it go. And don't judge, and don't dig your heels in, and don't fight it and hold on to it further and push it down again, like just let it go, so after a session, typically there's some grounding being done because the person will usually feel a little spacey or lightheaded. It's very typical because it is such a crown opening experience. So a way to ground, you can use like visualization, but your Reiki practitioner, energy worker, will typically press on your legs and on your feet, and once you've sat up, kind of pull on like your shins and legs and push down, and when you stand up, kind of push your feet into the ground or something along those lines to make you, until you feel like you're balanced, heavy, and grounded. If that doesn't work and you're really like up there, you can do like a nice visualization. Picture roots sprouting out from the bottoms of your feet, extremely fast, extremely far-reaching, just like lightning through the earth, reaching the earth's core and wrapping around the core and tightening, so you are grounded. You are not going anywhere. You are pulled there, and you are supported that way. That's usually a very grounding experience every time I do that one, and I really love that visualization. The more you practice at visualizing, and I've mentioned this before, but I'd like to mention it again, visualization sounds very, very fairy tale-ish in a sense, but maybe if you hear it this way, you'll be more open to visualizations. Visualization is a way for you to connect with and communicate with your subconscious. Your subconscious will pick up on your words. So saying something like, I am safe and protected, I am grounded, something along those lines. That's great, you know. But when you add more levels to your words, your subconscious makes it more real and picks up on it more. So a visualization of seeing those roots and feeling that, and then adding an emotional concept to it, an emotional aspect that involves your subconscious even further, feeling grounded and grateful and supported and just loved and strong and healthy, that adds more to your visualization, and your subconscious picks up on it, and boom, you're grounded, you know. Like, try it, I bet you'll feel pretty grounded. So I think that's pretty much everything about Reiki for now. I mean, I think I went a little overboard actually. I hope that you found this beneficial. If you haven't had a Reiki session, I'm not here to sell you on one. I'm just trying to give you information that people have asked me about and what I do, and you know, how it feels, how you might feel if you decide to get a Reiki session. There is distance Reiki, and I just had a session recently with a really wonderful person. It was such an honor. She was great. Distance Reiki is very powerful. I know it's not tangible. It's weird in a sense, like, but one of the premises of Reiki, and one of the symbols that we utilize once we get to level 2, is a symbol that works with or works within the realm of no space and time, or of all space and all time, if that makes sense. I know it sounds really bizarre, but there's an energy, this Reiki energy, this life force energy, that will exist beyond our solar system. It is not just here. It's beyond these stars, it's beyond our sun, it's beyond this loop that we're on that keeps track of our time. It's beyond space and time. So you're able to, when I do Reiki sessions, like in my videos, a lot of people feel like they're able to pick up on that energy because I'm putting it like up in wherever for anyone to access at any time if they just say that they want it. Now when you're doing a distance Reiki session, it's different because I've talked to you, we've talked, or you know, your practitioner, you've talked. They're scanning your chakras. They're working with your energy specifically. So you're getting a much more specific to your needs at this time Reiki session. So I hope that kind of makes some sense. But they're really wonderful. I absolutely love distance Reiki sessions. I think that they're incredible. It's hard to explain, you know. It's relaxing. You might feel some sensations, but it's like what happens afterwards that you start to really feel things about. And it's definitely helped me. I definitely had some really good experiences through it. So, all right, well, I think that's it. I'm sorry about my lack of videos this week. I only got one up, and it was really a great one. I don't know if you watched it, but the hands-on session that I did was my most popular video so far. I'm definitely going to try to do more of those. I need volunteers. And I'm going to order soon rather, a like higher tripod, because that was kind of a problem for me. I wanted to get a better angle, and it was kind of tough. So I'm going to improve on that. And this was just a busy week for me because I was getting ready for that class, writing papers for it and stuff. And then also it was my birthday. So thank you to the guys who donated, you guys. I think that was really nice of you. So thanks very much. I'm going to get that tripod. And it was just a hectic week for me. So I do apologize, but I am just going to keep doing my 2 videos a week. I did have a question for you guys. I was saying I wanted to, rephrase. This isn't a question, but I originally was going to start another channel for more of a just talking, not ASMR video. But I've decided to keep that all in one place for now, so I don't get distracted, so I don't take away from one or the other. So my plan is to have one ASMR video a week and then one kind of information, talking. I don't want to say like, it's not like a personal blog, but like a sharing, you know, I'm hoping that I'll share some information that some of you might be interested in. So that's what's up with me. If you want to connect with me on social media, I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and my website. So please reach out to me in any one of those mediums. And I look forward to hearing from you. I'm always welcome to more video suggestions, or if you have any topics now that you'd like me to talk about, I'd be very happy to share. Yeah, so as always, namaste and warmth and gratitude.